call the budget workshop for the city of Vernon, September 6th, 2022 to order. Chad, invocation, please.
Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for this opportunity to be here. Lord, we just ask you that you have your hands upon us as we make decisions for the city, for the better good of our city. Father, we just ask you that you just continue to bless our city as we see the progress that is coming. In your name we pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm assuming the latest one. Chad, ask which one we thought we would start. This is the budget.
This is the budget.
The budget workshop.
Oh, what's the other?
Our regular workshop, following the budget workshop, you should have a agenda.
I seen that agenda. Dude, budget. It says budget workshop. It's what it is. Well, the other one was supposed to do the budget workshop later, because this is says budget workshop.
No, that's what we're doing now. There's two of them.
This one.
No,
This is our
it's two of
budget
them.
workshop and our
Which one's supposed
regular.
to be first, Karen? The
budget
regular
workshop.
meeting or the budget?
No, the budget workshop.
Okay. Oh, no.
I want to make a comment first. Let's see if we can get this in a little bit bigger font, because us blind folks like me can't hardly see it.
Sorry.
That pretty much covers everybody here because we're all wearing glasses behind this table.
Which one are we doing first?
Karen, is there anything that you'd like to say about this latest paperwork that you've given us on the budget?
Yes, ma'am. I just realized looking at your budget summary, I didn't put Parks and Recreation in there.
I thought it's in there.
But I mean, on the front page, I mean,
Oh, on the
Parks
In
in,
the summary, you mean?
right in the summary, I did not add that.
Oh, what's- So you might have to change something anyway. You might have to change something anyway, if we decide to change something.
Right, I have to do it.
Change it. Only thing I saw where you had other miscellaneous, so some of the sheets. administration, and they had other miscellaneous.
Yes, Chad, yes, about which year?
Huh?
Last year's.
Oh, at the
We still
bottom.
don't have a copy of it
What?
from last year.
Yeah, we have it, it's in there. It's on the one that she gave us today. That package she gave you today is in there. In your package she gave you. It's vacant. It's like this, it's vacant.
Package today?
Hmm?
Today? I laid it on the desk.
Yeah, I got it, it's on the desk, that's why I said it's on there.
Been on it, isn't it?
Yeah. You got it, man, it's for you.
Thank you.
It's on the desk.
I overlooked it, first page of the city of Chipper, I guess.
Yeah.
And that just outlines our, doing our tentative, millage and budget, yeah, the date, and then, the advertising, I just, that was for y'all's information. Yeah, no, it was my mistake, I just set that aside because I read the front page of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Gotcha. That's up to the will council, however y'all want to do it.
What?
We're gonna be line by line, or we're gonna.
That's what they usually do. And we usually do.
They're not set up the same.
What are you starting with then?
Well,
Some of this stuff is just necessarily always is the same, right?
no, it's not always the same, it changes from year
May
to
not be
year.
the same. Well, it can't
Except
be the
for
same because
the,
stuff go up.
Fire department, stuff like
No, it goes up. Stuff goes up, so you have to allow for some little raise and everything because the economy changes and certainly ain't gonna go down. It's always gonna be up.
I'm having a really hard time with the first page seeing it,
Huh?
I'm having a really hard time seeing the first page.
Which page are you talking about?
This one,
The top, the little one,
this one.
No, the one, it was in the back of mine, so,
okay, it's the income.
well, I can see it.
I can't tell just having,
So you put DOT mowing back in there?
I just put that in there to show that we received it this year.
Oh, we didn't, okay, that's what we got last year.
Yep.
I see it now, sorry, I didn't read off the page. How much do we get for traffic fines? You know, I mean, is there a set fee or something? I see it on here, but I know that can't be right, as much as they write. I see them right.
Yeah, what we've gotten so far this year was $1,004.03.
You know what percentage of that we get?
No.
We need to find out what percentage of that we need, what percentage are we getting from traffic fines? I don't know how much they charge people when they stop them, but this year they took in a lot. I see them.
They said this weekend that they was coming like.
Well, see, she said this weekend they were stopping them like crazy, so. I don't know what percentage of that we get. Yes, we do. Who? Chad.
Okay, so how do y'all wanna do this? Are we going line by line, or are we perusing and everybody coming up with questions? How y'all want to handle this? First of all, let me ask you this, Karen, is there anything on here that I see some question marks and some side items? So is there something that you're waiting on still?
Well, like I brought it last time, the special assessment, $700, I don't know what that's for. I found it in the,
How much was it?
budget on Banyan, but it doesn't say what it's for.
Isn't that the one that you said was somehow notary, but it was being taken
No,
out?
ma'am, that's,
So that's separate.
I don't know what this, but we have not received anything under that line item. Nothing's been put in the Banyan with that code.
Well, there's nothing on last year's budget about it either. If you go through it, there's nothing there.
Were you able to resolve the issue with the notary
Yes, ma'am.
being taken out of the fire department and get that updated? The bonding on it? It wasn't the notary, it was bonding.
Bond,
But there was a bond issue, yeah.
yeah, the bond for, they had it as notary, but it's a bond.
It's a bond.
Yeah.
So you,
Yeah,
you've updated that to,
It's gonna go on the, you said administration.
and were you able to change the names on it?
I have not gone in there yet to do that. I've been waiting, Lee was supposed to be here today to help me with a couple of things, he did not make it.
Yeah, I knew that, I believe it's Friday or something, last time I talked to you, I told you that I spoke to him and he wasn't coming back until today, and said he had some appointments.
Well, I talked with him this morning and he was trying his best to, break free, as he put it, but I guess he wasn't able to.
Yeah, did he let you know when he was coming this week?
Not yet.
He did say that he would be working with you this week.
Yes,
But he didn't.
but he
say
did not
if
get
was
what
coming
day.
Or
What day?
what day. So is there anything else in here that you're waiting on?
Now, basically what my question marks are for is, as we talked about the last time, I don't know what these refer to. But I added them in because they were already there.
With the question, okay.
Like on, the fire department. The one insurance has been resolved, you don't have to, you can just mark that one out. That was for the, bond.
We have insurance for the fire department, transfer of funds for the fire station.
Yeah, I have to move that, cause it's not supposed to come out of the fire department.
So I noticed on last year's budget, we have $150 on miscellaneous for the fire department. We don't have, or in 2021, I'm sorry. Or we wanna try to put that back this year, we wanna
It's on there,
take it off.
but it's not on the,
It's not on this year.
it's on there. Number 430. On the fire department, number 430 is miscellaneous, 500.
On the income right here.
Oh, you still on the income page?
It's not on it. Says, 4202 fire department miscellaneous,
40, what is it?
34202. It's the very last one. General,
Before the 4,200, that what? Okay.
I was just wondering if we was gonna add that 150 back or we're gonna leave it off. We took it, it was taken away last year because of everything. We're just gonna leave it off.
She don't have nothing there. What was the miscellaneous for anyway, but we don't know. It's not enough to do anything with. I don't see where she has to go back and add it. You need miscellaneous stuff or something? Like $100, what is it, Chad?
$150.
$150.
Right here.
That's on the other one, on the
On
other.
this one, it has nothing.
But on the old one had $150.
On this old, the old one.
I don't
last
see where
year.
that's going to be, for her to put it in there, I don't see where it's gonna make a difference, not $150.
Leave it in there, did you, transfer that other miscellaneous above it?
Well, they can, well, just put it all together,
Yeah, just put it all
instead of
Kinda
just
cleans it
having
up.
that.
Cleans it up a little bit.
And Karen, you said the insurance on the fire department, that's been resolved? Yeah, there's a question mark about the 200 spent out of it, and there's $6,977.61. She's got question marks, and didn't you say a few minutes ago that had been resolved, or were you speaking about something else? No, that was for the bond, the insurance, okay, so the 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, that will go on, financial administrative for the bond. Okay, so is it, well, now again, a question mark, cause I don't know why the insurance was on there, cause that was the only thing that came out of that was for the bond. Okay, well, that's what I'm saying, there's $200, that's the bond, okay, but that leaves the $6,977.61. But nothing, that's what I'm saying, nothing was used that went toward that. Well, as you know, if you look at 360 on last year's budget, it was under insurance, it was budgeted for $9,500. There was only $686.20 spent out of it that year. That left carryover $6,977.61. Okay, I see that. So she put the budget at $6,977.61. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, in the previous, in 21, it was at 95, it was at 95 and there wasn't that much, so, and we started off on the 22 budget with 69,760, and now on this one, it's gonna be the same. Right. That's, I'm sorry? I don't know, no, somebody else down there said something like here. Well, I guess my question is that how much their insurance is a year? That's what I'm saying, I haven't had anything come out, that's why I was asking Shaq if he knew what the insurance was for, because there's nothing that was taken out of that amount.
You know, I'm sure we have them insured, don't we?
I know we insured.
You're insured, right?
Right, but I think, is it coming out of the other?
No, I don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
No, you're insured. Well, did anybody have to get some medical care last year? That you know of?
That I know of. Well, they're supposed to report to me, so.
Okay. Cause they're saying here that, I guess it was $200, I guess. No,
No, that was for the bond.
okay, okay. That was it, okay.
Well, that's what my question is, I mean, I know that they have to have insurance coverage. What, is it for the vehicles, is it for all of it? What company is it with? And that's the reason for my question is because the amount, the last 3 years it's been budgeted, and what's actually been spent out of it, I'm not understanding why there's that much, should that, part of that money be going somewhere else in this budget?
Well, I'm sure those vehicles have a high insurance,
That's
but
what I'm
I don't know
saying,
how
but
much, but I'm sure they got a high insurance premium, I'm sure.
I guess, I don't know how the rest of y'all feel, but my suggestion would be to find out about the insurance, all the insurance that the fire department has, who that's with and how much it is, because what I'm saying is, what it looks like to me is that money may be being set aside in a department, for the fire department that can only be used since it's line item under insurance, and it should be going somewhere else in the department. Because out of what I'm looking at for the last 3 years, there's barely $1,000 been spent out of it, so that money's sitting there.
But maybe it has to be there.
Well, that's what we need to know,
Yeah.
otherwise,
I know it's
can
just
we
gonna
move it
sit
somewhere else
there.
into his department where he can use it elsewhere, is what I'm saying.
This should be a really simple problem to solve. You should have a statement from your insurance carriers for your premium. At this point, there really should be a question about where's this money coming from or going.
Cause I'm sure it has to be renewed somewhere down the line, they just don't keep carrying on.
This may not actually be insurance.
Insurance, it might be
Have you not
something
looked at
else.
the policies and the premiums?
What if they said about the, they never,
This is information that the council.
Yes,
has
I
to have.
understand that, but when you don't have access to all of it, it's hard to get the information.
But you know who your insurance carriers are. You should
Really,
be-
I do?
You're the clerk.
Exactly, but go in there and clean that up.
Hey.
We don't need to go this route, because everybody be calm.
My point is that this money that everybody can see has been set here in 21, 22, now we're moving it to 23. If we know what insurance the fire department has, is all this money being lumped together, or does it have to be there? If not, maybe part of this money he could be using elsewhere in his budget, is what I'm saying.
She needs to find the policy, pull it.
And I have room to do just that.
It's been like that the last 3 years.
Yeah, it shows in our 2021 budget.
23.
Yeah.
It was $9,500 was budgeted, but only $686.10 was spent the whole year, which left the 69,771
61.
that we're looking at in 2023, with $200 being spent out of this year.
And it's not changed.
It's not, the money's not changed, so what I'm saying is that money's sitting there,
Could be used better
that
elsewhere.
he could,
I understand, if you don't need to be there, don't need to be there.
yeah.
I think
That's
that to
my
come,
question.
I guess we could come back, we'll find out if it needs to be there. It's there for a reason, it's been
Yeah, I
there for
know.
3 years. I don't
But we just need to know why,
We
because,
have to move it by now.
well,
If we didn't need it, like Michelle said, it might be there for some other reason.
Yeah.
And we don't know about it.
that's what I was saying, that we should be able to go through the insurance company or something and find out, because no more than, not even $1,000 has been spent out of this in 3 years, so that money's been sitting there.
And the $200 that's been spent hadn't even been subtracted.
Well, that's fine, because they got interest on it, where is it, you know?
No, she said that she had found that only $200 that came out of
Out of
that,
it.
and that's why she's got question marks by it.
Okay.
And when I go back and look, she's got a reason to have a question mark by it, because there's been a lot of money budgeted that's not been being spent under the insurance line item. So all I'm saying is if we know, then we could possibly move that money somewhere else in his fund. Because it looks to me like it could be sitting there where it could be being used. From what this paperwork is showing for 3 years.
Well, we know they're insured somewhere,
Yeah,
and that,
How do you know, if you don't have that information, how do you know what's insured? You're not looking at the policy.
well, I know those vehicles are insured, I haven't seen the bond, but I know they are, because we talked about that. Yeah, you won't get a claim unless they're insured. Vehicles, they're insured, but I don't, and then the firefighters are supposed to have insurance. Because if they get hurt.
and it may be that it's all being lumped
Lumped
into-
together, because they,
But we
they
still
have to
need to
have
know,
insurance.
given the fact, if y'all will look at what's been spent, it's sitting there.
We need to know where the money's going and where the money ain't going. That's,
Right.
I mean, that's our biggest issue is that
Right
we've
now.
got to know.
Yeah.
And if it's insurance, I wanna know on the next budget meeting, what the insurance company is. I wanna know where this money's going. I don't care about question marks on the side. I wanna know where this money's going. We gotta find out where it's going. If we don't find out where it's going,
It's gonna be there
Then-
next year. Well, we don't know, it'll just be sitting there.
With that said,
and it's been going on for 15 years right here, probably, so we need to straighten it up.
Cause all it says is insurance,
That's it.
and like I said, last year it said insurance. So,
Well, and like, and all the rest of the line items, I mean, logically, you can look at them, and most of them, you can see that what's been budgeted, either more's been spent, or it's pretty close.
yeah,
But in this instance, it's not.
It's not
So if
close
it's
at
been
all.
lumped together, then it may be, I don't know, we're just gonna have to find it out.
so we're requesting the clerk to find out about the insurance.
Yes. I got it right down here. And also, and Karen, I think you mentioned something about this, or maybe you did, the transfer of funds for the fire station. What- There's question marks by it.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't sure what,
It was budgeted in 22, and there's been nothing,
right.
the money's sitting there. There's a transfer of funds, dash fire department, you don't have any information on where it's transferred from, or?
We have to go back and look at the older budget, see how much that's been running.
It just
I'm looking all the way back to 2021.
I don't know, I may have to look that farther than that, see if it's been the same.
Well, in 21
it's got the
to
same
22,
thing, it's
Yeah.
got the same thing.
it's the same.
21
Yeah.
and 22, you got the same.
And it says on last year's too, just transfer of funds, dash fire department, it doesn't say, it doesn't even have a number beside it.
Is that the funds that just directly comes out of the city to the fire station? Something that has been put in there to help over the years? Or is it something that,
There is no way, you need to look it up, you know, kind of go back and manage the budget, see if it just started with 21, 22, or been going on.
So
Still
Karen,
may
can
not
you
give you
pull-
much information.
Can you pull, 20, 19, and 18, maybe you can find it there? I mean,
and maybe find out, I know we're working off these lines right now, but every line seems to have a number of changes.
I was gonna say except for that one.
You got, it goes to 433, and then it just drops off the face of it.
Well, it's like that on last year, was like that.
Yeah, and I know that probably doesn't have anything to do with anything.
But it does help find
What it is.
the
That's it.
item when you're in the venue.
Yeah.
the bottom line is, in order to get a budget right, we gotta have the numbers.
Yeah.
carrying the stipend, number 100, on the fire department.
That's the money they get, I guess.
There wasn't it wasn't last year, she budgeted 10,000 for 2022. I just moved it over because there's nothing in there that tells me what that is.
Is that what you get from the county? How much do you get from the county, you know?
44.
Okay, the county one is on the income.
It's on the income?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. This is under the fire department.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the fire department?
Yes, ma'am. Under 100, it's the bottom one under the fire
That's why
department.
I'm saying, do you know how much you get from the county?
44.
24?
44.
So that's not it. Unless it's part of it.
I mean, they break it up in quarters.
So if that was the money, you would be seeing some of that on paper.
Oh, yeah, it goes into that, 34200 account.
So
Income,
the projection in 21 was 7,700, and the final on 2022 we had 10,000 on that stuff. And so basically, she's just moved that over, and that's another question mark.
yeah,
Just figure out where that money's coming from. It's not stopping. On top of it.
Anybody else have anything on the fire department portion? And right now, y'all, I'm just looking at the question marks, so first ones I think need to be dealt with. Karen, you said rec wasn't on the, it's not in the summary, right?
No.
Amen.
it's done on the sheet.
But it's not in the summary.
You got the disaster recovery. You have to do a rank, you have to form a ranking. That's for the disaster.
That's not gonna be in there.
The last one we just did.
I'm sorry, I have to,
That's not gonna be.
where everybody can hear, what is it?
Well, I didn't ask you one question.
No
It's not,
question
there's no
done.
done.
Okay, there's nothing decided. What are those three figures about? Because if that's the total, what are those
On which page?
on the fire department? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, where's, okay, the bottom, this one's.
At the bottom, you mean?
Yes, it actually, I'll be the first person to do it. I don't want.
That's, well, but no, that's a good question because it's under total, so, and it's different numbers. Carrie, on the fire department, under total, the next line,
Like the stipend?
Above it.
above it.
Above the stipend.
Okay, Miss Mary has a question.
I'm
What are
sorry.
those numbers?
What are those numbers under the, after it's already been totaled, what are those, because it's just in that column 22 and 20.
It was, that's how she had the spreadsheet set up.
That's just, oh,
Yeah.
Okay, but the total numbers are, the total is different. is $75,007.73. The number under it is $68,925.32.
Yeah, she's got formulas in there. I'm just going through plugging in on her last year's budget. I just changed the dates to reflect. I was kinda hoping y'all could look at it and tell me what this was for, because like I said, there's no notes, there's no nothing.
It's almost like that 6977 is subtracted from that. From that insurance line, is subtracted from the 75 and you get 68. You do all the math there, but it's just about.
Oh, I think you're right. Well, and the same line on this year's budget, not only all the numbers different, but they are also in brackets. So you're saying you're going off the previous clerks, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. They're just plugging in the numbers for this year off of Damien.
That's basically what it is.
That figure up there is subtracted, right?
You take the 75,000 minus the 69.
Yeah.
And you're within pennies away from it, so.
Yeah. So that's what that figure is.
So your total's not gonna be the 75,000 that you think, it's gonna be the 78,000 is what's gonna be your total.
68 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that stipend is subtracted from that total. That's what it looked like to me.
But we still gotta figure out where that money's being spent.
It looks like it's not there.
Yeah, it almost is like it's not there.
It is. Yeah,
It's
not
a
there.
hidden money.
Like my wallet sometimes.
It ain't there.
I'll talk to
Mine in your wallet must be key.
Yeah, it just looks as though that money is not there, and they've taken it out of the total.
Yeah. Karen, keep in mind when you're looking, the fire department is the only one of these that's like that,
Except for city hall.
in the city hall fund.
You got a total expenses and then a grand total, and we'll do grand total. That don't make sense.
But surely the accountant asked that same question, right? Wouldn't they ask where that money is or what it is when they're doing the budget for you?
They don't do the budget.
Yeah,
I mean, when
the
they're
CPA
getting
doesn't do the budget.
Yeah. Michelle, answer that. Go ahead, Michelle.
The CPA doesn't prepare the budget.
No, she said.
No, when they,
Auditors, they
don't they question what that is or anything when they're doing that?
There's a lot of questions in that blue folder right there.
that's the audit.
That's the audit.
The
Right there.
CPA is separate from the auditors, and the CPA doesn't do that. Now, he does part of it, the clerk does the budget. He does the,
Well, you have to
You know, I just wondered if they question
you know,
what they don't understand when they,
well, I would hope so,
yeah, that's what,
but there again, this has not been submitted to the CPA.
oh, okay, oh, okay. But it was in the 2022 one. Same figure.
Yeah, but that would have been, we did not have the CPA.
Oh,
you know, doing that, we didn't,
It's something we've done since.
since the last
Just as
budget.
the first year. Oh, okay.
We didn't have.
And the clerk handles the budget and puts the numbers before us, and that's how we get them, and we have to work it out. And the clerks have changed, and so we're feeling our way through.
Yeah, so,
Ms. Carey, have we provided you with any kind of education as far as trying to get this taken care of? As a city, as educating you to help you understand this programs and stuff like that for the city?
I have contacted Vernon myself and gotten additional training on
Actually, I
that.
said, have we as
But
a
I was
city?
gonna say, but as far as getting help on how to do this, no.
And we don't have to do something as far as that goes, as far as helping her understand what's going on.
Basically, what I've done is I've gone into Vernon, pulled the income for each department, the expenditures for each department, and went through and put them where they go on this form.
Y'all want me to talk about grants, and then we saw this grants and got to go in there.
Yes,
Yeah, but we need to get this stuff straightened out first, so we go insert anything.
The grants are gonna go on their own line.
Online, yeah, I agree with that. They got-
No, but I'm saying, we need to get these departments straightened out.
That's fine, but we just, all right, then we're ready.
Well, I'm just saying, we need to get these departments straightened out. Well, I know we need to put them in there, but if this, we need to get this straight, these departments straightened out. To make sure that their budgets are correct.
we don't have all the information. Big Karen has to look up.
That's just,
Okay, let me-
that
let
was
me-
just for the fire department.
yeah, that's just wonderful. Let me back up to a minute to just what, Chad said. And I know that this is a budget workshop, but it is, it has to do with the budget. And I'll ask it to be put on our regular workshop for discussion, but there is, and she could have already done it, but she wanted to have council approval. The Florida Clerks League of Clerks, something, I'm not sure how it's worded, but, it's something that all of the clerks, or at least the one that we've had
Yeah,
for
wait
the
till
last
that,
several years,
they went to
have
that,
joined, they pay
they paid for it.
$75 a year, the city pays for it. It enables Karen to go on and ask questions, learn things, reach out to other clerks. They're all going through, we're all in Florida going through basically the same crunch time, the same deadlines on budgets and things of that nature. I've talked to her about it several times. She wanted to make sure that council would say that that was okay, although it is in her budget to do that, and it's under the amount. So I told her that next time we got together, I would say that to y'all, so,
Sounds like a pretty good idea.
that will help tremendously in a lot of areas, because she can deal with other people that are in the same position she is.
What's it, yeah, cause she has individual questions, I guess she need to ask. And
Well, they all do the same role. So they help one another. And all the laws and everything keeps getting updated and all that, that'll help with that too. She'll have a lot more information at her disposal.
Okay.
Okay, Karen, the question marks that you have in, rec. The recreation budget is in blue, and then Just the recreation department page, there's question marks on that. There are. Yeah, you have question marks on that?
No, I don't see it.
Did you get the new one? I put
Well,
on,
not on the new one, I don't.
it was laid on, the desk. Oh, it was part of what's on the desk?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's
The new one, don't have it. The only thing, well, on that 4th of July, you looking at Parks and Recreation, on that 4th of July. How much was the fireworks?
The fireworks, were 16.5, that's gonna go up.
That's what I said, it's not gonna be enough. Well, it's 18, so it might be enough. I don't know.
Well, and we also need to decide.
Well, we need to get those other things we talked about. Remember the things we talked about, so that means their budget is going to happen. To get stuff for kids and stuff out there. For 4th of July, it's gonna have to go up. There's not gonna be enough to cover it. But there's $575 that has no number. What, Karen, you know what that is? Right at the beginning?
I brought that up, the last one, also, there's the 22 budget.
Yeah, it was $575. But there's nothing there now.
Right, there was nothing to,
Okay. All right.
say what it was for. I realize that now.
Timmy, you got those quotes on the school board?
Yes, okay.
Joey, you got the quotes for the, gators and lawnmowers?
Do it now.
Yeah.
Well, they probably no good, and that's
Because it's been gone so long.
30 days.
Which one of these has got one?
Huh?
I have 3 here, that one's not it, it's got question marks on it, it's 2023. I have another one here in front of me.
I had the same one.
No, I separated mine.
2023.
This is the new one.
This is the newest one. With the, 61, 75.
That's the new one.
Yeah, but what I'm looking at for the 4th of July, and there's
That's right.
nothing in any of it. Is that,
Huh?
you're right, one that we're looking at?
Where it's like 18.5 for.
At the top or bottom?
347.
I was looking at the top, there, it'd be at the top, and then they're on the bottom. Yeah. We spent 16.5 on fireworks. That's what fireworks cost us this past year, because
And I'm 697 of them.
16.5,
no, 16.5
that's what they are.
was, it's under 4th of July, but that's just what the fireworks cost. And that's going to go up.
So, if I say something popular here, isn't that a lot of money to spend for 15 minutes?
Well, I tell you what,
You ain't
let
cut
me tell
down.
you, could I say something to you? Let me tell you something.
Let 'em have a
You
heart.
wanna be a one time?
You wanna be a one-time here, don't do it.
Oh, no, I just answered a question.
Well, just let you know, about the citizens of Vernon, so don't try
No,
it.
ma'am, Miss Mary,
Yeah, don't try
trust
that.
me when I say that I personally, for the last 2 years, have had the displeasure of having to come up with a new fireworks presentation. And we were blessed, both years, it's might come in last minute,
Right.
and the price is going up. It's went up every year, it's gonna continue to go up, because, well, basically most all of it comes from China. And with shipping issues and the price of everything going up, it's harder for them to get fireworks, that's everybody. The company that we use this year, they're out of Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
They do shows all over Florida, but that's where they're based out of, and we call it, so.
This is about kind of the only thing we provide for the elderly.
The 4th of July is all that the city
That
of
the
Vernon
city
really
has.
does, except for the Christmas parade. And so, we try to add to it every year instead of, taking away.
Thanks.
Because one year we didn't have it, and
Well, and even the year that we were forced because of the
because of the
COVID,
flooding, they still was upset.
people were
Upset
upset.
because we didn't have it. No, they weren't.
Joe said that was.
Like the water came, they still was upset we didn't have it.
So, but what I'm saying is, while we're discussing this, we need to keep in mind if we can find some extra money somewhere, because lumping, 18.5, knowing that fireworks, I do not have an accurate number yet. I get it,
We
Working on
add for that.
but, I do know that they are going to go up some,
And see, this year we didn't have the pageant.
And
That pageant.
is that something else that we need to think about? I was told that, even if the person that wanted to take it over isn't able to, that, and I don't know if that will be the case during the time, but Ms. Casey called, I talked to her about it, and she showed some interest in picking it up. Her thing would be, her and Lori both have discussed moving the dates and all, because it's not been a success, because it's always set around the time of the watermelon festival, and that's, so if we're gonna have it, we need to move it forward. Excuse me, backwards, we need it early. So,
Watermelon Festival, that's a cheaper thing, right?
yes, but the pageant money goes towards rec too, to help with the fireworks.
Okay.
Because basically, the fireworks money comes out of the rec department. So if we can have the pageant, we're gonna need to, I don't know, we're gonna need to budget, I think normally it's 500 that's budgeted for it, or has been in the past. We need to look at that. And we need to make sure that, we have bouncy houses or something.
That's what I said, we need more money.
We're gonna
We
need
have to
more
have
money,
something for
right?
the
So
kids.
if we
Not-
can,
But this time we got in trouble by not having stuff. So this year, if we're gonna have the 4th of July, we're going to have some stuff for kids.
we're gonna have.
My goal on this one is to have some sort of community outreach and bring the churches together way ahead of time to understand that that's our goal and get as many involved with that as we possibly can. But it still wouldn't hurt to have the fluff in the budget just in case we need to pull in shortcomings there.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I mean,
I've had a lot of churches express wanting to get involved with the 4th of July and do the stuff like that, so that would be a good outreach for them too.
well, and not only that, it's an opportunity with concessions and with we have the bounce houses and all the stuff for the kids, and we have our concessions open to actually not go in the hole, but actually make money, so there's more money available to the community for rec, and every year we can add to it. If we're making a little something on it, we can add to what we do.
Well, this year we could have got politicians to pay for it.
So I'm saying we
But
need
you
to
had to
all
reach out
work,
to them, but they would have paid for it,
we need to work
because of the
together
election,
and
they
get
would have paid. They
things done
did
and set
stuff for us.
earlier. That's like just as soon as I can get
That they reach out.
some numbers and an agreement,
I wanna have it before y'all at one of the meetings and get that set, because
Can't wait. Can't
3
wait.
years in a row is not happening, I'll hand it off to somebody else. We get done, one of y'all be on the phone begging.
We have to get it done early because otherwise you can't book. That's how come we didn't have them for the 4th of July.
Because it was supposed to have been done in
Everybody booked
January. Anyway, that's something we need to be thinking about, is money for that. Carrie, is there anywhere else in the budget that you have an issue or a question or something that you feel that you don't know where belongs that we need to know about that's not marked on here? Not that you've come up with yet, okay, I do have some moving around to do a little bit, but
Because we have a lot of miscellaneous stuff, funds. I noticed that. Almost everybody's got miscellaneous funds, so.
yeah.
Well, me and Lee had talked about the miscellaneous funds, so to speak, and his idea was to maybe do away with them and have it where it goes to specific.
That's what I said, instead of miscellaneous.
Right, instead of putting
I don't like that.
miscellaneous, go ahead and have it where it's.
Where it's supposed, it needs to go somewhere.
To
I don't
another-
like to see miscellaneous.
Right, and then you'll take that
I don't like
miscellaneous
that.
out and budget it, put it somewhere else, that money.
I don't like to see miscellaneous money laying around and you don't know what you're gonna use it for. I don't like that. I think everything should have a click. What's the new joke this week? What's the new one?
It didn't hurt to ask.
I'm assuming that this water and sewer fund, is this the right one? Everybody got the same one?
What now?
The water and sewer fund? Has air and billing on the side of the places?
Yeah, that was the one that I called Heidi about. She's our, the person that we have to deal with at Vernon for our, just for utility billing. When she went into the program, we discovered that somehow, and we did look in the log, she said it was unusual, but it did not show in the log when it happened. But sometime after June, some boxes, the wrong boxes was checked on some of the transient services, which is what the disconnect, reconnect fee and adjustments are. It was checked wrong, and therefore when she transferred the payments and all that over to the fund accounting, it did not go into the right account in fund accounting. So she showed me how to switch it back to where now anything that's, if she has a disconnect, reconnect fee or adjustment, and when she transfers the fund over to fund accounting from utility, it will go into the right fund account.
Okay, so,
But I did go to her, she did kind of figure that 3,000 is about accurate for what we made this year on what we took in on that, and adjustments, because there's so many different adjustments, she just was not able to give a figure for that. But she's pretty confident on the disconnect, reconnect fees.
at this time, are these numbers accurate?
From what I got out of Vernon, yes ma'am.
So, as far as the expenses and the grand total, are those correct?
Yes ma'am. As far as I'm able to get out of Vernon, yes ma'am.
Is this part of what, Lee is coming back for, or no? Is this what y'all are still working on together, or no?
Yes, we will have to work on it, because when we fixed that up there, we ended up discovering that there was other sections of the program that were not being done. And when I did that, it changed. He'd already done the reconciliation for water sewer, so now he's gonna have to go in and change again, but he's gonna get back over it with me.
Okay, so we really don't know if these numbers are accurate or not yet.
As of right now, they are, but pulling it out of Vernon County. He basically told me all he thinks he's gonna have to do is go in there and do some general journal entries since the income was already reported.
On the employee, the payroll sheet. On the, employee, the payroll sheet.
For who? For the whole thing?
Yeah,
For everybody?
Karen, the vacant on that.
That was one she had in there, I guess, in case you had a,
That's not for this year.
no, like I said, so she had it on there for last year too. Yeah, did y'all have a vacant last year?
No, we are, that is going to be Tim. Tim?
So we can take that out.
The last employee we hired. His name Timothy? So these are the numbers from last year?
No, not all of them, I mean, if you look up here,
Yes, I see that, but I'm saying this,
I mean,
Right on the payroll, current payroll.
I took them off the side over here.
okay, so that vacant is gonna be Mr. Timothy. Excuse me. Okay, well, unless anybody else has anything, I think we went about as far as we can with this. We need to set another budget workshop so we can stay on track, get this submitted on time. Until Gary can present us with the manager. Well, that's what I'm saying, we have to have another workshop, and it's all got to be done and submitted on time.
Art on the first one. The first one is your neighborhood revitalization, which is your well number one and well number.
What are you talking about?
What did you just say? I'm sorry.
No, but where are you saying? Where are you
These
at?
aren't even on. When I turn them on, they keep squeaking.
I'll talk about it.
What I said was, we went about as far as I think we can go unless anybody else has anything. We need to set another budget workshop so we're in compliance to get this done on time. There's really nothing else we can do until we get that accurate number.
You do need to address the grants going in your budget though. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll have all y'all copy this at the next one. Dale sent me an email and it didn't come through, but I think I pretty well know. Rehabilitation of well number 1 and well number 2, and that's paving Church Street. That's $650,000. And that will be, that comes in to be, should be paid in all in 2023.
Have that grant been approved? It's been approved, okay.
The money's there. I mean, you can put it in later. I'm just telling you what.
No, you can put it in if you have it where it's supposed, where it's
The money's there, we just gotta go through all the, there's a bunch of them over in Tallahassee, they're waiting to sign now.
So what now?
There's a bunch, I'll go over one by one, I'll give you. This one is awarded kickoff meeting, we've had the meeting here, June 6th, 22. That's the, installation of new generator and SCADA system at 9 sanitary sewer lift station and spray field station. Reroute the spool mill lift station, discharge force main. We've had a kickoff meeting for that, Dale is working on it. That is for $1,674,622. I'll double check on this one. I have probably next meeting. That's the two I would go ahead and put on there. The other one I'll double check on.
Did you get that, Karen? Yes, ma'am.
One thing that, we talked about the sheriff's department. The cameras. And I don't know, the sewer testing, water testing is all going up. Jimmy's, will be requesting a pay increase too. He's give us all a sheet of paper on that. That's
Karen, you had that too, don't you?
That's one bring
That's
that
gonna
to you.
go in. Well, I'm sorry, Michelle, do we approve that and then it goes in, or do we go ahead and?
What, Jimmy's increase?
Yeah.
Has he presented it yet?
No, he's, I don't know, county.
I didn't hear you.
When is it gonna be effective?
Probably
When is
probably April.
April is the contract, it's going up, it'll be next.
I can't never remember. It's
I think
somewhere in
it's
that
in April,
neighborhood.
but I know it's in the spring. Isn't it your contract in the
Something it
spring?
doesn't-
It's somewhere in that part of the year.
Well, I mean, my preference would be to approve the increase
Well, we have
now
to
so we
improve it.
plan
Well,
for it.
yeah,
That's the only reason I gave it to you, you can plan for it. I mean, you,
cause it has to be in there.
half a year
When
maybe.
you get ready for it, it has to be in there.
Gas prices go down, I won't go up.
Also, Mr. Gary's right, we need to, we all agreed with the sheriff that we would, during budget time, see how many cameras we come up with. They're $2,500 a piece for the year.
Every
We
year.
can find them, yeah, every year, but, our budget's every year, so, I'd like to see if we can come up with 2.
One at each end.
Cause really one's just gonna keep them going one way.
And that's what I said.
So if we can budget for 2 this year, and then maybe next year we'll have an opportunity to add.
To those 2 side roads, like,
Yeah.
Mossfield and the other one going out, and that would, should take care of our city pretty much. Because even if they come around, they could, that would be, those.
Yeah, 4 would be ideal. but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
why I
know.
said 4 would be ideal.
I got a question. Where y'all get away from that paving?
Huh?
Is that paving from Moss Hill Road to Pompey?
What?
Yeah,
The paving?
yeah.
Have any of y'all went out that way? Yeah, the county's fixed to pave that road.
I know they all,
They've already put the silt fence up and they got their signs up.
But Trey was supposed to come down
So
here
last-
tonight.
How far is city limits past Pompey?
About halfway to, well,
Cause Jerry
Gary Brock
Jerry Brock is in it.
in the city.
Well, if y'all go down that road, get the notice, and when you get up there, near about on the brickyard, it'll tell you you're beginning construction. So is that gonna be a paved road? Then go to dirt for half a mile and then back to a paved road? I've asked a question, nobody gave me an
That's a
answer.
good question.
Well, I've asked, and I ain't got a call back.
But Trey was supposed to, he had told me he was gonna come here.
But I'm afraid that might be in city limits.
He had said he was gonna come here and talk to us about
If you
the county.
cut straight
Since
across.
they was coming all the way down Church Street,
Express.
already, the county that they were trying
Budget
to,
for it, so they can-
like, do some kind of agreement with
Yeah,
us
you wanna
to
check?
finish out that.
3, 4,
Cause he had
Before
told
we
me.
get those discussions, we need to adjourn this budget.
Oh, yeah.
Before we adjourn this meeting, we need to set a new workshop.
When it is this week, Bob ain't got nothing.
I'm good
Make it go
anytime.
fast.
I just need,
I'll be out of town next, I'm supposed to be out of town next week. I was going to have surgery and I have all this information. I'll be right with Gary. Both of y'all.
Michelle, when can you come next week?
Next week, I could do the 13th or the 15th. I'll be in Boston Monday night.
The 13th? Either one is fine for me, it doesn't matter.
What's good for the rest of you? Chad,
15.
The 15th?
Joey?
Oh, wait, hang on, I may be, let me double check this, I think I may be in the Chipley's workshop, but not.
You do.
It's the 15th, yeah. Okay,
13th?
not the 15th.
The 13th?
Unless they change it again.
Okay, so we're all in agreement, 13th at 5:30. Can I have a motion to adjourn
I
this
just want
meeting?
to adjourn that budget meeting.
Second? Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Now we're gonna open the workshop, September 6th, 2022. Our normal workshop. I'd like to add, number 4 and 5. Number 4 needs to be, if it's okay with council, Public Works Chad needs to address us about something. And number 5 is what I brought up about, Karen, being approved to join the lead clerk. That's not something we need to vote on, but she wanted everybody to be in agreement on, so we can do that during this meeting, and she can go ahead and.
I would like for y'all to address this,
Don't wanna put you as number 6?
that's fine. I mean, it's Karen's to bring up the discussion, y'all, but it needs to be dealt with.
I also have included, policy holder disclosure notice of terrorism risk insurance act.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So I didn't have to, should have put that at 7 then. Hold on, what do we put 6, Karen's, letter or 1 6? Okay, so Karen, you don't wanna address it, Michelle says it needs to be addressed, so number 6 is the letter received, okay, from Karen. That we all received before the meeting. And 7 will be the, insurance.
The insurance for terrorism, right?
Yes, ma'am.
One time we need it, you don't even know what's coming.
Well, all we can do is talk about it. Right.
So we have the financial statement, there's nothing much we can do with that.
I'm sorry, Ms. Gwen, I didn't understand you.
The financial statement from the CPA.
No, the financial statement from, the CPA, I'm assuming, Karen, you put that on there for,
I didn't know if it needed to be discussed or if it was just,
Don't they normally come and present?
Hmm?
Don't they normally come and present their plan?
What did you say?
This is all, I thought so, but this is all I received. Did they say anything about that?
no ma'am, they just asked how many copies I wanted, I got one for each of
Just make it.
y'all and
I think we need to request them to come.
request them to come at our, regular meeting.
It needs to be at a regular meeting.
Okay. Number 2, the direction sign for City Hall, everybody got.
I brought that up because during when we had the election, people were looking for City Hall. Nothing out there that says we're Vernon City Hall is. You know, people were confused, and like a lot of people they just didn't know where we were. There's no sign or anything that says Vernon, nothing back up in here, City Hall or nothing. So I had told, Rose to look into signage for the high, you know, out there on 79.
Not there at Court Street and 79.
To see if we could get a sign pointing. Well, I like the other sign better, the bigger one, but it doesn't have an arrow. If you look, that one don't have an arrow.
She did try to find the taller one with the arrow, but she couldn't.
Can't find it.
No ma'am, that
She
was,
told me she looked everywhere.
she did.
And it's a 15 by 15, which is not very big.
18 by 18 is the one I'm looking at.
Huh?
An 18 by 18.
Yeah, I said that's 8, but that's big, but it's not that. It's pretty big.
Is that the biggest one that she could get?
Found with an arrow. Yes.
You want some more traffic? Hey, get those traffic a bit.
They can make it.
Yeah, the traffic, they can.
They make all of our signs.
Okay, well then maybe they can
Get
make it.
him to.
We would have Rose call, Steve, what's his name? Graphic design.
Graphic.
Mr. Steve.
Steve?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can make a back-to-back sign.
It'd be 4-way.
What kind of dimensions we get? Are you talking bigger than 18 by 18? Do it like
I thought the 18 by 24, I thought that one, maybe, but you think it don't need to be that big?
usually big enough to see it, that's not very big.
Huh?
You sitting in that red light on the other side, that's kind of hard to see.
See, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying.
saying. 24 by 24?
Well, how many sides are you talking? Just one?
You're gonna want
Both sides?
both sides.
That's what you're gonna have to have both sides and up here and up here. But can you have a sign, well, do we need one to sit straight on? On 270, what is it?
Where they can see it from the red
Or
light.
do you wanna do
Yeah,
two signs? Do you wanna do one at
But that one don't have to be as big, I don't
both
think.
sides of 79?
I don't think you would have to, if you got a sign that was, could he make it on both sides?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, have them back to back, pointing in this way. So even if they were coming that way, they still could see it. And then one coming from across the bridge. And
Yeah,
have them
one
back to back.
would take care of that, but it's not gonna take care of
There's
everything.
one coming from Chipley.
77.
So that's why I said, maybe they could, I don't know how you would work that, because that's a lot.
That would only need to be one-sided.
Yeah, that's all, one time.
So ask Rose to get a quote on two, a double-sided and a one-sided. Was that agreeable with everybody?
What size? Size.
Besides, you said, that one don't have to be that big, I don't think. Do you think the one that's coming off 277 needs to be that big? The big is the one that's actually pointing in.
No, because it's just gonna be those people that are coming that way, so you could do an 18 by 18 for the one-sided one and 24 by 24
For that big one,
for
so
the
they
other
can see.
one. Okay.
And it has to have an arrow, one
And
arrow,
we want arrows.
to point in here.
Question, DOT, if it's like on 79 out there, Main Street, DOT wouldn't, you already see the DOT signs that says anywhere in the city you go into, they'll have City Hall here and this way and that way, or that wouldn't be something the DOT would be able to help us that
To
way?
hang it on the lights, you mean?
No, actually.
Well, no, on the side of the road, but one is the street sign or the big green, you know, you see them everywhere. I don't know if that was something DOT did or if that's something, I don't
DOT does do that, they do it for churches and all.
They do it for businesses, they do
Never
it for.
check that too.
That DOT.
They're not gonna do a big sign, it'd be a street sign.
Yeah, well, that's okay as long as there's a sign pointing to City
Yeah.
Hall, because people was coming
They
in
had, yeah, they had all
and
those
they
signs
vote,
where
and they were
voted,
saying they couldn't find it
business.
because we didn't have any signage. And they was like, we had trouble finding this place, you know.
That's a good idea, Chad, maybe we could, it may not end up costing anything.
Yeah, 'cause they should be one like right over the bridge by the new dollar store, coming this way, coming south, and then north, as you're coming up to the light, maybe by where Melanie Ray's used to have the salon right there, that area, and then
Yeah.
one coming in by the school, circulation there.
If we could get them to do those, then we could do a bigger one, like you're wanting, closer.
What come out there? Well, I hear
Yeah,
Right at the
79,
corner,
we could do,
corner
if we could get them to do the other ones, then we could pay for having one big one out there. If council wants. Just have Rose find out for us. Now,
prices
for
of them.
Checking with DOT, you want it for 77 on each end, right? 79, I'm sorry.
And
Yeah,
277.
And
And
277?
277.
Okay.
We only need one on 277 facing this
Right.
way, this pointing, that's coming this way, City Hall straight up, I guess. What do you think, Chad? Is that enough?
I would just say 3.
Huh?
Big one for the city, I'm sorry, he was showing me something, I didn't hear what you said exactly. but-
Yeah, she was asking what you thought about one on each end, one at 277,
That's all I would do. would be
on that
3.
side of
All coming to
277.
the red light right there.
Right there.
So when they get to the red light, they know where they're going.
Go straight, that's what I'm saying,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
where it is.
Mhm.
But the other two signs need to be facing 79
Yes,
on
ma'am.
both sides.
That's what I would do.
Does anybody else have anything on that? Number 3, form ranking committee to rank proposals for the engineer and administrator for fiscal year 2021 CDBG disaster recovery grant.
We don't have anybody here.
Is that one we've been working on?
Didn't we already do that?
I thought it was one of them in jail.
That was on the other one, but this one, we only got one engineer and one administrative proposal, so we thought we were done with it, but then DO come back and said, no, you have to advertise it again, so I had to advertise it again, and this time I got 2 engineers. And so we have to do the ranking on them again.
And that's not the council doing the ranking, because you
No,
do the
ma'am.
ranking on some of them. But this is the one where it has to be citizens?
So basically, do you want me just to contact the ones that did it last time and
See if they will.
see, and go ahead and set that up with them?
I don't think I'll be available.
Council?
You'll be available.
You'll be available?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I would just basically check to make sure that,
Okay. Number 4, Public Works, Mr. Chad.
All right, well, I've got some things here that.
We can hear you.
The main thing I was gonna talk about was, another situation, but I have, some numbers here for you to run by you real quick. The fan blower at the plant went out, the panel box on it, the, safety switch and disconnect caught on fire the other day. I don't know why it did, I was there working on the polymer when it happened, but we've got a price on that, to be replaced, it has to be replaced. For one of the blowers out there, it's $2,180,
How much, 2,100?
$2,180. That's the installed price, everything done.
We have to vote on that.
It does not include if the wiring has to be replaced. That's just for the disconnect and the switch and the labor for that. But if the wiring has to be replaced, I think it's gonna be a little bit more.
Chad, how big of an item is that as far as the plant running?
Well, right now, remember it runs the blower. We have 2. One of them was down for a long time. When that one went out, I had to jump on getting that other one going. So it's running now. The second one. that
But
we
you
were
need
worried
that
about
now.
getting, but we need it. Yes, ma'am, we need it. Also, they'll be out tomorrow to install the effluent pump at the plant, and that one is $88,050. 8050. Yeah. The price for Lazy Bone, the pump out there is gonna be $6,192. And something's wrong at well 3. They're gonna be out tomorrow. They're gonna check it out. It's making a terrible noise. If it's the motor, obviously it'll be covered, 'cause they just put that motor in, but if it's the pump, we may have some more issues with that, we'll know more tomorrow when they come out. And, we're gonna have to, change some signage at the spray field and at the treatment plant. We've already got signage up around, that tells you what's going on there and caution and all that, but we have to have everything in Spanish as well. Chipley had to change all theirs too, they got hit on it, so we'll have to do it or else we'll be in trouble, so, that's gonna have to be done.
And you got to get a price.
And we gotta get a price on that, and I'll get back to you whenever we do. GDS can do it, he's hooking me up with people to do that for us. Also, and the real reason I had a complaint last week, the week before, don't know what to do with, need to bring it to the council. We had a complaint about 3459 Roach Avenue. They fenced off their land, and put a horse there. I just need to bring that to you. They were complaining, saying that it's against it was a, who was it called complaint? Michelle Cross called complaint. She knows what we can have, what we can't have, our compliance laws and all that. And she called me a complaint.
Who's the person that's got the horse, you know?
I don't know who they are. I could look up the records, find out their name. I didn't really want to prove, but I do have the address. As far as animal control goes, the horse is well taken care of. They got a nice piece of land out there, a lot of land for one horse. They put some money into this thing. It's not,
Yeah, but
it's not just tied to a tree.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to
But
have.
we're not supposed to have them, so.
Isn't that right next to,
It's right next to Mr. Steve Smith's farm.
I'm wondering if that's agricultural too.
It's agricultural.
So if it's agricultural, then they're well within their right.
It's on the circle right there.
Yeah, that's
It's right across from.
Michelle?
It depends.
Depends.
It's big time. It's right across from,
Miss
the
Sam.
road right there. You can see it. I've seen the horse
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Side of, Carl Prim's house.
Oh, it's the Brown's house. Okay.
Samantha Stewart, right
It's
across.
right
the
across
road.
from her on that same side.
But it's not,
west.
is it Samantha?
No, it's across Hillcrest Circle from her. That big field right there.
I'll look at it tomorrow then.
I seen the horse today.
Yeah, it's well taken care of. As far as the horses, whatever, they're not doing it, but it's up to the city. I don't know. I don't want to step up. And if y'all do make a decision on that, it's definitely gonna be something that has to be done. Not just knock on the door.
Everybody might want to ride by and look at that, because
That's what,
it could be setting a bad precedent.
well, that's what I'm saying. If we do it for one,
Well, we want this, we got those precedents all over town. My question is, I guess would be, like Michelle said, it depends. First of all, is that agricultural there?
No, it's a residential. That's just,
Okay.
that's where,
We don't have code enforcement.
but we do have something about animals being in the
We
city.
have, well, and on his part of it, he said it's
And
been
that
taken
is
care
in the
of.
city, then.
But I was saying, we don't have an
Code enforcement.
code enforcement. Is the issue.
I don't think I have a copy of an ordinance that prohibits horses.
We had an animal, cause I remember we got to Barrett, but then his was grandfather, because he had them before we made it. I was
I
going,
thought his reason, I don't know, I wasn't on council at that time.
no.
that would be, well, I go back and read all them old ordinances.
It's an old ordinance, that I know.
It is in there.
But
It's in there, cause I remember being on the council.
if you allow this person, he's in a residential,
We got you.
everybody just needs to ride by and look at the house.
I'm going tomorrow to tip my number.
There's been 4 horses there before, and I know the council never said a word
Where?
in that same spot.
Well, I never seen them there.
So I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I'm nervous about going there and trying to say anything, because you like prejudiced
In
against
that
young
same
with
spot,
everybody else.
I don't know where it is. I
I
know.
don't know where, I know the area.
Because Cricket Hall, that's, or Betty, they had horses. But anyway, it's,
I know what Samantha Street is, but I know that road, and I know what
I
Mr.
saw it
Brown
go with the calls all down Dawson Street.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there was no business.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, I didn't see them
I
business.
don't know their name.
Same things that are illegal,
Yeah, we-
complain. I've had horses, they're my house. I used to have 4 fenced in. Behind the house, they come on this side of the fence, they take that shed out front, that's the shed. Council never said nothing about it, that's been 20.
Oh, we didn't see it.
You wasn't on the council.
I didn't see them. Well, then we didn't
But
have
still,
anything, we didn't have
it's one of those
anything said
situations.
about it.
If a phone call hadn't been made, you wouldn't be saying anything about it now.
Y'all go back and look at it, he's right side of the road, I think.
I'll ask this question. Are the complaints from residents?
Not a resident of the
Is it
city,
a complaint from somebody that lives inside the city limits of
not
Vernon?
that I know of. Not
Well,
that
who's complaining?
That was the only complaint that we have received.
The ex-deputy
The previous
clerk,
deputy clerk,
the previous
who
deputy
does not
clerk.
live inside the city limits.
We have not received phone calls from anybody else.
Well,
None of the neighbors was
look.
No,
complaining.
ma'am, no, ma'am, no complaint.
I'll go by and look, cause I know the area, but I don't know exactly where this is.
I know where exactly where it is, but I have not, I was up there today, but I didn't pay any attention. I was tipping today, right up that road, but I didn't pay any attention.
I went up, it's right off 277.
You know,
It's gotta
yeah.
be, it's the area.
Where Mr. Prim used to live,
I drove up there,
It's a flea
up there today, and I didn't see a,
fence.
I ain't seen a horse.
I didn't see no horse fence.
I went to pick up some kayakers, and I didn't see no horse. I'll go look.
I ain't seen nothing, well, I wasn't looking for it.
Like I said, I have seen a goat with a collar along the street.
Pigs, potbelly pigs everywhere.
I mean,
It's like, are we gonna start doing that? We're gonna have a lot of them happen.
This is the thing what it comes down to, we need to find out. Allow the horse or not. The people need to sign a paperwork the city's not allowing the horse, because it's in the city limits. We do have ordinance, an old ordinance, I don't know how old, we need to pull and look at it.
Yeah, that's what
But
we need
if
to
the
look
city
at.
allows it, the individuals, they need to sign a paperwork, that horse gets out.
And hit somebody's car.
Somebody hits it.
Yeah.
They gonna come back and say, hey, the city allowed it, the city approved it, it's inside the city limits, sue the city.
Well, I didn't know about it until Chad brought it up, so if that
I
was the
seen
case
it.
before that, we wouldn't be in that situation too, not knowing or.
Oh, they're gonna.
No, we're not.
You got your part,
Has all these
Jack.
chickens and ducks and stuff, that's animals and.
Well, they're not supposed to have any reason.
We'll tell you that y'all do, these animals in this
It's in
thing.
your
Yeah,
neighborhood.
how do we start picking and choosing?
Yeah, she did.
I don't know. Karen, pull the ordinance, Miss Michelle.
I was gonna say, Rose had went through them and I believe she found it. Or I believe it may have been what Michelle just said too, that there wasn't a specific one about, but I know Rose, excuse me, has been looking into it.
Just make a copy of all the council members.
Miss Michelle, you said you don't think it was specific, the ordinance that was used.
I haven't,
It said animals.
nothing was sent to me to review.
I don't think, no, but see, cause I don't.
And I don't remember y'all
I
adopting
don't
anything
think
about
you was,
horses.
I think it was Terry. I don't even, I think it's
Well, that had to be 13 years, 12, 13
It
years
was a long
ago
time ago.
then.
Yeah,
I know
no,
it
that's
was
what I'm
before
saying, if it was
you
done, it
came.
was before my time.
It was
and
before
I
your
haven't-
time, I think.
I know Rose said it was.
It's gotta
before
be
your
all
time.
out,
Mhm.
because
You know, when Barry had them horses, and then Mr. Boswell was complaining about the cats. All that stuff. That's when all that
But was the ordinance able to be exercised at that time? Because fair.
No, but they said,
They grandfathered
he was
it.
in because he had it before we had it.
Mhm.
We didn't have it. He already had those.
I remember us grandfathering.
Barry in because he already had it.
Okay, so the ordinance has been done in the last 20 years.
That's
then.
what I'm saying.
While
It
y'all
came
were on
out
council.
before that.
Well, you've been on council what, since 2014?
Since 2007, but I think
Yeah,
Harry was
maybe.
sitting there when we did that, actually. That's when we did that.
Yeah. There's some stuff on the books and in the charter that's older than I am, so, and some of it's been changed and some of it hasn't, so we'll just have to look at it and see.
Okay, one more thing before I'm done. I already brought up to y'all one time about the rental for the backhoe.
Yeah.
Ours in such bad condition right now that we're worried about putting it on anything. We've got a tap, a sewer tap and a water tap to do on Spool Mill. I know y'all went ahead and said we could get one if we needed to, but I just want to let y'all know we're gonna get one. We're gonna have to. We're gonna try to do this for as short a time period as we can
To get both jobs done.
to get both jobs done when we got it, if we can, if we have to work a Saturday or something like that, make it, because I know we can get it a little cheaper if we get it for the whole weekend besides just one day, so we can knock it out over the weekend or something like that, but just to let you know we're gonna do that.
Where's the ceiling tap at?
Hmm?
Where's the tap at?
The tab's on Spoil Mills, that new house going in, on the right, whenever you go up the hill. That one they pulled in there, that old house in the front up here.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Do we have anything else on Chad?
No, ma'am, I'm done.
No more road animals or no anything?
16,000.
Yeah.
No, ma'am, just
Okay.
let me know what to do with that.
Well, we gotta find out.
Yeah, y'all figure it out. I agree with Councilman Joey there about making them sign something, that way we're not liable if anything does happen.
But again, that would fall to Michelle as to whether or not we would need to do that, or if we had to do that.
What's that?
If we had to have them sign something, it's allowed to say, Joey had brought up having this owner sign something saying that they just.
About the horse?
Yeah,
It might be possible, I really need to see the ordinance. in
that's what I'm
order to-
saying.
Just not even see what in detail.
Because some of y'all may have an alligator in your bathtub that I don't know about it, it may get out and bite me, and I don't know if the city's gonna be responsible for that, or if the owner.
Well, see, look, when I said that, y'all remember when I had the hog? Well, my hog used to not ramble. Then he started rambling going through the fence to the church, or the church to the members of the church. The hog scared them, and they scared the hog. He was out down in the pecan trees eating pecans, but the thing was, I had to come from the city and sign a paper saying, if he got on the highway, it was my
I didn't
hog.
know the city ever adopted anything like that.
See, that's been, that hog's been dead 10 years. I've been there 33 years. I'm just telling you, that's my problem. I had to sign a paper saying, the city wouldn't liable for it all. I guess it's, well,
You didn't mention talk, did you, Joe?
Yeah, all right, number 6. The letter that everybody received from Karen. The only reason I wrote that and presented it to y'all was because I was instructed to print out the other emails, so I felt it only fair that y'all hear my side of it.
I requested that she print out our correspondence because she has the obligation to inform you all that she's not following the policies in your handbook, she's not documenting properly. She committed a textbook case of retaliation, and that needs to be addressed quickly.
And so does the issues with Rose name dropping you every time I turn around that you've got her back. So that interferes with my ability to be able to manage her since you have
First
her
of all,
back.
I'm gonna step in here and say that that person is not here, and I don't think that she needs to be discussed. When she's not here to, and I would say that about anybody in a situation like this, I don't think that that part of it needs to be discussed. Y'all can address whatever else that you want to. I will ask that, to make sure that if council and the mayor received my response,
Yes, they did.
that the part of it, I'm just asking them if everybody got that, because well, it's self-explanatory. If council or the attorney feels like we need to have an employee meeting or something, then I just think that, I don't agree with this. Some of the information that was presented in this letter. On my part of things, I don't agree with some of it.
I didn't have, since I got your email so late today, I didn't have a chance to respond to yours.
Oh, well, my name is in this too, so.
Well, no, I'm
I
just
don't agree
saying,
with it.
you sent me the email right before closing time and asked me to print it out to give it to him, so I did not have time to sit down and respond to it.
Well, I thought everything was resolved,
So did I.
you know.
Yeah, cause it did me no good to say anything, but yes, I have learned my lesson not to, from now on, how to do it correctly. Like I said, no, I can't address that, never mind, she's not here.
Because we did talk about it, we did.
Well, I think the last time, that we were up here, I know that I asked, and there was a witness, and you said that everything was resolved, so.
Well, I thought it had been at that time, yes, but since, like I said, nothing was being resolved, I let it go. Why should I keep saying something? Like I said, but I do know now the right way to do it. And as you pointed out in your email, neither one of us have had our 90-day evaluations done.
No, I've asked
And
more than
that's-
once to find out about that.
Yeah. And if we're gonna go strictly by the employee handbook, then everything needs to be done strictly by the handbook, not just bits and pieces of it.
Well, as for my part, my name being in this paperwork, I will say this, I would not, overstep my position. I have done nothing but try to help when
I didn't question you did, and you have helped.
I will continually, do my level best to help in any way that I can. If you call me up about something and I know the answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't, I will refer you elsewhere. That's what I've been doing.
That's exactly right.
So,
I think we need to have an employee meeting. And we'll resolve the situation now. Because I am not gonna tolerate this mess inside the office. We're gonna either get it straightened out, or either we'll get somebody who can. Simple as that. That's the way I feel about it. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts away about the way I see things. Call a meeting. Let's call a meeting. If it's gotta be a special meeting, we'll call a special meeting and we'll do what we gotta do.
so we're
That
going,
will be, that is going, the habits will be used.
We need to find a handbook. I don't have a handbook.
there are three. I'm not sure which one is the proper one, cause I didn't give us three. I'm sorry. I have.
I got two.
So,
The last version of the handbook is the one that addressed personal use of
The
cell phones.
cell phones and stuff.
Okay, that's
Handling
I
personal
do.
business
I can get you all copies of that one.
during work time.
That's the one I have that has it in about the phone
Okay.
and about the computers and stuff, using it on time.
Okay, question on the meeting. We set a budget workshop meeting. When,
Tuesday. What?
yeah, no, I know that. When do we want to set this employee meeting?
Oh,
Same time?
Can we do it at the same time?
That's up to y'all.
We legal to do two set, we just did it tonight, yeah. So, let's do it after
Yes.
after the budget meeting.
the budget meeting.
It's up to y'all.
No.
I mean, it's a discretionary.
So we're agreed on an employee meeting
Afterward.
after our budget workshop on the 13th, correct?
That's Tuesday.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else on that? Okay, number 7, I'm sorry, Michelle, did somebody down there say something?
Well, maybe we should have that employee meeting first, so they can go if they want. They don't, I know want to sit to that budget meeting.
Did it do him so good to sit through?
If I have to.
No, that's not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Commissioner.
Well, it doesn't matter to me, whatever the will.
That's what I'm saying, maybe we should have theirs first, so they can go if they want.
Okay, then we'll have it first, the employee meeting.
Is this gonna be where you're gonna do your evaluations or?
No.
Well, and that was the other question was, we've not been doing an employee evaluation, apparently.
Right.
I don't think I ever.
Because when I asked about it, Karen pulled information and the last one was done for the clerk and it was done by, I'm assuming the mayor and president at that time because it was Mr. Gary and Mr. Joey, and that was several years ago. I don't see, so my thing is that something that we all do? Like, is there
The
a form?
whole council is supposed to evaluate your, department heads and
By
workers
form.
and.
They used to give us a form and we fill out that form, we grade, and then we put them together, and that's how we come out.
You have a form for it.
Everybody's got a copy of of the evaluation.
Do we do the form in the meeting or bring it filled out to the meeting?
I would think you fill them out on your own.
You fill them out on your own and then you bring them to
Bring
the
them to the
meeting,
meeting,
and
that's
then
where you
Okay,
discuss
so
it.
Karen, get us the forms and have them sent in our packets. Is that agreeable with everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the end of the conversation on this letter and these emails? Michelle, do you have anything else?
I mean, I just wanted this brought up because I can't discipline an employee, but when I try to correct something that's a very clear liability, I need the employee to respond with something other than personal attacks, because that makes it impossible for me to do my job. I have to,
Understood.
and y'all are the only people that I can bring this to, and this is the only way that I can do it.
Which was the reason that you requested that the emails
Yeah, it's
be handed out as well. Okay, number 7, the insurance for the terrorist act. We've all got a copy of that. We can't take any action on it tonight. I would suggest moving it to our.
is that something you suggest we have?
I mean, the premium was $5.
Yeah, $5.
That's what I said, it's not high, I know,
I don't know why you
would not have it,
have that
Is
coverage.
that something we have to vote on?
Well,
yeah.
y'all have to give the directions, so you would need to do that.
Okay, so put it on. Okay.
I didn't know how much the
I was
premium
gonna say,
was.
if it's something that,
That's
$5
something
and it comes out of administration, we're gonna do it,
I
but.
don't know why they.
I heard it was very cheap. I don't know why they just don't give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that we need, because it's dangerous time. And the
Okay,
city really could be.
one last thing. I thought we did, but Chad just said that we didn't. Number 5, are we all in agreement that Karen
Oh,
should
but
immediately
we
join
need to discuss-
the Florida League
Yes,
of Clerks?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so Karen, you could have done that the whole time, but you wanted to make sure everybody was in agreement. Everybody here is in agreement. Okay. Does anybody else have anything?
Is this application?
What is this application, are you sure? Or somebody just came and put, why do we have this application?
That was just for an FYI. I didn't, and I also, of course, gave it to Jason, since he is over. Okay.
Are you sure?
Work.
Do we need somebody?
Somehow?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or is that a question that's like just rhetorical or yeah? Somebody.
Saying
Sure.
yes, then.
I'd love to have another guy.
I can say this, because if this was to ever come up, I would give everybody on the anyway. This application, was presented in the case that a job opening came up.
Oh,
or
they
the
just
city,
want to be in it, okay.
and everybody knows that, y'all need more help.
Absolutely.
We know that, but it's coming up with the money.
Yeah.
And this particular person just filled out an application
Okay.
in case.
That's Jeannie boy. Ain't it Jeannie?
No, this is her husband.
Oh, I thought it was her boy. I thought it was still a boy. I thought it was a son.
No, it's her husband. But that's why I filled it out.
See, they call him Rusty, don't they?
Rusty.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
what they call him, so I don't know about
But that's why.
I don't know about it.
And why did somebody fill out an application for us?
Yes.
That's the first I've heard.
Don't get your hopes up here, buddy.
Well, yes,
I
ma'am.
would say, I do think that you all need to invite Lee to come down, to a meeting, so that y'all can
We have-
discuss what he's been doing. I think they're gonna get us kind of a surprise bill for the work that he did in August. He's been asked to do quite a few things that were really outside the scope of his contract.
Well,
Okay,
didn't you ask him to come, Gary? Haven't you asked him to come?
They could come out one time, I haven't asked him again, but I will contact him. Which meeting you want him at the budget workshop?
That would probably be best.
Come to the regular meeting?
Anything that, if he's gonna have an additional business, we need to know.
Well, I think you're saying his bill's gonna be higher than it normally would
it will be
the contract.
significantly higher. than-
So, yeah.
But he's also been asked to do things that are outside of the contract, and I think y'all need to have that discussion with him about what he's being asked to do.
I would like to know what he's being asked to do that's outside the scope of his contract. So,
I think he needs to be here to, to be a part of that discussion.
so Mr. Gary, you saying that you would ask him to be at the next workshop,
That's this next year, you're right.
the 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
He
talk
doesn't
to
have to be here exactly 5:30,
him and make sure he's up.
but yeah, make sure he's fed up before he gets here. Yeah, everybody else as well. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I've got some.
Oh, hold on.
Before you go, if we are gonna get somebody for real, I think we should advertise it, so we get the best possible candidate.
Yeah, well, I think, again, just because I personally, am a relative, I happen to know that, he is looking, and he wanted to have his application in case a
That's
position
Jason's
came
call
up.
anyway, but I'm just, I didn't know if we were, by law, we had to.
Because we've all discussed wanting that, but in this case, he put in the application on the hopes that if
Something come over.
something came up, or if there was
Please call,
money for,
call him in for him.
he
So we
would have
just
an
put
application.
it on file, right?
Yeah. Anything else?
Really quick for Rick, 2 weeks ago, we had our first home game, week 1. We brought, I think it turned in 3,400 roughly, in that game. We've got our next game this weekend, this Saturday. Not only do we got 4 games in the morning that we are playing in, we have the chance to host 4 more on top of that, so we will be out there all day long. If y'all wanna come out, hang out, see what it's all about, see how it's going. We've got our 3 youngest teams, our 10U team took their first loss this last week in a very close game, in a comeback game that they should have won, and just the final seconds ran out of the clock to lose. Other than that, we're undefeated. Our senior teams are still struggling, but it's because we've got 10 kids on the team that ain't never played football before. But we've got some momentum behind the football play.
What is the date of that again?
It's this Saturday. We've got Holmes County coming to us. And then Callaway and Crestview are coming to play each other. Depending on what this tropical storm comes through, what the field looks like. That's going to be the question, whether or not they come to us. Because with high school playing Friday night and then us playing 4 games the next morning, we don't know what that field's going to look like, depending on what that tropical storm does. But that's all I had. Just wanted to go that.
Can I have a motion to adjourn? Second. Discussion. All in favor? Meeting adjourned.